So yeah, this is the AMA with the developments, the guys over there. So the first question was, when are you planning to implement wipes of the game? And it would be great if you could also provide different server options with varying wipe schedules according to players with different player frequencies, assuring that the ones that can play daily and fall off too far behind. Well, this is essentially just people asking if this game is going to have wipes, and if it is, can they have like a 6-month wipe or a 3-month wipe depending on each server? Because like people have been asking for that in, like Tarkov for ages, for there to be like long wipes, like a year wipe, 6-month wipe, 1-month wipe, like the kind of different in Rust. You've got different servers with different longevities for the servers wipe. But they literally just answered this and said the beta test will wipe test. So when the beta ends, the game will wipe. Yeah, but then there will be no wipes afterwards the official launch. So they don't need to worry about falling behind, since Arena Breakout is focusing more on its tactical in-game experience rather than the RPG style character growth based building. What I find really interesting, because we've always been used to games wiping. I'll be interested to see how this kind of like progresses without wipes, whether it'll feel boring or not. But as far as I'm aware, from what I've been told from people who played mobile version, there isn't any wipes on there either. And apparently the guys over who make their game, they have tons of events, tons of random events that pop up that completely like change the game. So it's going to keep it interesting in that way instead, where the game will progressively change to keep things interesting instead of having a constant wipe cycle every 6 months or so, or whatever that. So I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on like what you want from the game. But you know, it's interesting to see how they do with that. The Arena Breakout Discord, yeah, what's that in the Arena Breakout Discord? Check the Discord to show you your own time. Yeah, if you look at the Discord, it will tell you your own times. They said they were different event like every other week on mobile. Yeah, it's crazy the amount of events they're pumping out on there, like crazy different stuff, you know. But that's interesting. That's a big question, big answer for that. Some points on the farm map and positioning too closely to each other and the other spawns lead in situations where the players are more easily killed immediately upon spawning to have engagements in combat away. Now, I thought this was a really interesting mechanic because I actually kind of liked it, because I thought all of the spawns were kind of like that. They were all very close to each other, meaning that like there wasn't like an unfair spawn or a better spawn that you got. There might be some argument with some better spawns, but I thought I kind of liked it because you were always forced to have kind of a player engagement straight away, no matter where you spawned on the map. But apparently they're looking into feedback. So it says, thanks to the feedback, this is currently not the gaming experience we intended. So we noticed the issue and we are in the process of making significant tweaking designs. However, we can't guarantee that these adjustments will be implemented during the beta test. So they are going to make changes in the spawns looks things. They want to change spawns. Apparently. Yeah, another interesting one. They are going to change the spawns. I thought that was an intended feature, but by looks of things, that's not what they want. They don't want the same kind of like jumping into a PvP fight immediately off spawn. There is one spawn I would say was kind of bad, because if you spawn not on the, is it the north side or the south side of the map? I always forget like the directional side, but like when I'm looking at the map, it's like the left hand side of the map, near where like the kind of farming equipment is. You got the huts and you got the computer rooms and stuff upstairs, like that side. If you spawn at the back, you can see across pretty much immediately. If you have a long range scope, you can pretty much shoot people straight away off spawn. What's not ideal. I seem to find that a lot of people, when they spawn that side, won't run across. They'll actually run back around, sit in the houses for 5-10 minutes, then come across to not get it. So interesting. We'll see what happens with that. But I didn't realize they were going to change that intended feature. Interchange our spawns, yes, the same for that. But the thing with interchange though is that like there's good spawn and bad spawns. It's with Tarkov and that, like with Reserve, obviously they recently changed the spawns and that after so long of being the same. Like there are some spawns that are like really, really good spawns. You don't really run into anybody, and there's some that are just like you constantly running into somebody straight away. Right, next question. If you throw your backpack on the floor with any quest item in it, such as a black or white briefcase, it will despawn. The quest item you will have extracts under the run another raid. It will pick up again. Wait, I didn't know this is a bug. This is a result of a potential issue that can arise when players share mission items also with teammates. It may not be ideal for situations, so you'll strive to find a better design for the dresser issue. Oh, I didn't even realize this was even a thing. Well, what they could do with this is have it like what they do in Tarkov, where when you pick a quest item up, it doesn't go in your bag. They have like a special slot for quest items that goes in it, so they're not separated. So when you drop your bag on the floor, it wouldn't put it in your bag. It would just be on you all the time in like a special slot for quest items. That would probably be better. So the next question is the spiritual sound in the game is quite generic, making it hard to determine the direction of sounds. Are there any plans to enhance the audio spatial? So talking about the spatial audio, really, I didn't find that. Feedback received, and we'll understand that the importance aspect of good gaming experience will improve the audio space. So let's talk about spatial audio. I think, personally, spatial audio in this game is amazing. It's one of the best things about the game is that the audio I find is very good directional. Like, I can tell where people are without no problem. I haven't really run into any issues where I'm like, oh my God, I didn't hear that person. I always seem to hear them. So I'm surprised people have said that as a question to answer that, because like the spatial audio I thought was insane. But anyway, that's my perspective on that. Maybe the guy had his headphones on backwards. Maybe the guy who wrote this question actually had his headphones on backwards, and that was why he was getting confused. You know, there's some weird people out there. Okay, so the recall after firing feels too strong, and are there any adjustments planned for balancing the weapon recall? Weapon recall too strong. That is very good. That's a good point. I do agree. Like I said, this is like Tarkov-esque recall. I'm interested to see what they think about that. So thanks for the feedback. But it's been observed that the recall of the first 1 or 2 shots with certain guns may be too strong. We are actively investigating this issue and may be adjusted made in the future to address it. Yeah, there definitely needs to be an adjustment with the recall system in the game at the moment. Like I said, people have described it as pre-Tarkov adjustment, like old Tarkov. Like how it used to be, where the guns just felt like all of the auto rifles just felt like they kicked to the absolute moon unless you mod the hell and shit out of them. It doesn't quite make sense because like with any gun, you can get like a stock M4 and pretty much just full auto that from hip, not from hip, from shouldering, and you can hold that, and you can hold a pretty good spray pattern with that regardless, instead of kicking to the bloody ceiling. But yeah, be interested to see what they do with that. The AKs in general are like that. I hadn't even bothered touching the AKM after picking up one of the bosses, what was slightly modded, and I just couldn't hit anything. It was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. The AK recall's out of control. Literally, like, that's exactly what I said, Michael. Yeah, mate, took the words out of my mouth. Exactly like that, man. Exactly like that. How many questions? Oh, mate, there's actually fucking loads of questions here. I didn't even realize there's that many. We'll get through these a bit faster. Throwing dog tags from the floor seems to almost always fall through the floor and become unlootable and invisible. Oh, that's just a basic one. Don't really worry about that. It's just things clipping through the floors, but it's just basic stuff. Enemies will sometimes disappear after being killed. This known bug. Oh, I've never had that. Anyone had that in chat? Had any bodies disappear after killing people and they're just not having their bodies there? I've ran into that one personally. When are you planning to implement wipes into the game? Okay, we've already had this one already. So there's going to be no wipes. This is just a re-ask of the same question again. Oh, wait a minute. Have I just gone to the top again? Oh, it's the same questions again. Oh, we're done with them now. Oh, that is all of them. Okay, I was so confused for a second now. I was like, bro, why am I reading the same questions again? They seem to be copied and pasted again twice in there. Yeah, because that's the first question, right? Yeah. It's just a copy and paste down again. I was confused there. How will they keep the player base coming back after 6 months? Like I said, this is I think a genuine question that, and I'm very interested to see what they do with it. If there's going to be no wipes in the game, but we'll have to see. I think possibly, like I said, it's going to be to do with events that are going to be happening very regularly in the game to constantly swap up and change the game. So interesting to see how that plays out.